Welcome to my channel, Professor Paul's Nuggets, once more. The World Cup is still raging on and with very interesting results, but I think we need to move forward with more important things for now. Now and again, we just speak on soccer, because that's what seems to be moving the world around now. Today, I'm going to touch on the Graduate Assistantship program that has been used in many parts of Africa in particular, but some other parts of the world, to develop the academic workforce. I've always stated one of the good things about the British Commonwealth, the education system that was bequested to us by the colonial masters, combined colonial master, the British, is an educational system that I would actually say is very, very good, very, very effective, very, very efficient, and almost, I would dare say, second to none in the world. So if you do move around the Commonwealth, you will realize that we just share a lot of things as far as education is concerned, to the extent that if it seems more like a moving office where you move from one country to another, rather than actually changing your location. So in the days past, the Commonwealth countries or the colonies were all taught by the British, who came from places within the British Isles, England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, etc., and even possibly later from Canada and other parts of the settlements where Britain was separate from where Britain operated. And so it was very common for the teachers, even sometimes right from primary school, to be from Britain or Canada. But gradually, as the workforce was developed, they created a lot of other people who could competently deliver in India, Pakistan, and I've mentioned Canada. And so what the colonies did, especially post-independence, as they gained their political independence and set up their own universities. You will recall that a lot of the universities, the first generation universities, originated as colleges of the University of London in particular. But as they matured, they also began to develop their workforce. And one of the most effective ways of doing this, I would think, was the Graduate Assistantship program, whereby the best students within the class every year were retained and then subsequently developed. And that development often meant sending them to the UK for training, which some of us gained from. So it helped to rapidly build the workforce, develop the workforce, as these trainees return to their countries after securing their masters or PhDs. I did mention this in one of my earlier nuggets. So the program was good. You would go out for your masters, return, then possibly after a few years, go out for your PhD again and return. I think what has changed over the years, a lot has changed over the years. I'm not exactly sure who is retained for those programs now, for one. The other thing I probably should be aware of is that a lot of these trainees don't return to their countries, which is why the academic workforce in the UK, Canada, and elsewhere is now more diverse, consisting of persons from across the Commonwealth, including Australia, I would say, New Zealand. You wouldn't find people of British origin only in those areas now, but people from other parts of the Commonwealth, India, Nigeria, Pakistan, Ghana, etc., who have chosen to stay behind. It was, I think, a beneficial program, and I'm really glad that it's still running in some form. Particularly in Africa, I'm aware that it still runs in Nigeria. I'm not sure how the selection is done now, but that is one thing I would like to touch on to suggest how that selection should be done. So how should we choose the graduate assistants so that the program becomes more effective and we can continue to develop an effective academic workforce way into the future? My first suggestion is to pool and send the graduate assistants to other institutions, but in particular, other than the institution in which they have studied, that is their alma mater. So if universities can all agree, and in most countries they do work under a single commission, like the Nigerian Universities Commission, and other bodies, similar bodies around the Commonwealth, is to nominate their graduate assistants, simply put forward their best students, and then put all of them into a single pool, and then change them, so to ensure that they do not stay on in their universities. I benefited a lot from that, mainly not because that was a policy, but the policy that helped me to move to another university was what I referred to earlier, and which is still commonplace, I believe, in Nigeria, that you are not from that area, so they do not intend to develop you because they are worried that you might leave after they have developed you. That is the catchment area syndrome. But it will be good for these graduates to move on to other universities, and it will be useful because there will be less academic inbreeding, something that I'll be touching on in another nugget. There will be less academic inbreeding because we do know when you study in a particular place, you seem to know a lot about almost a lot, or all the place can offer. So I think it would be good to move elsewhere and learn from another batch of academics, senior academics, rather than staying on and be taught by the same people. And this is becoming more useful because a lot of their graduate assistants are now training in their own countries rather than moving overseas. I would also suggest that these graduates, the graduate assistants, or the best students, I would call them at this point, be interviewed, but most importantly, be guided as to their suitability for academic work. I'm going to do another nugget on who can, or on whether the academic profession is suitable for everyone. I don't believe it is. Being the best student, for example, doesn't necessarily make one a good teacher. Or the person might be a good teacher, but may not actually want to be into teaching. So we should guide them, tell them what an academic should be and what an academic should not be, and before they make their decisions as to whether they will continue with the graduate assistantship. The final suggestion that I would have is even, and I did say the interview, I mentioned the interview, sorry, it's not just a question of an interview, but a real exam. I think India does that already. They take a qualifying exam to become an academic, to qualify to teach in a university. And that is where we will actually see who is really an all-rounder. An academic needs to be close to being an all-rounder, I must admit, because if you are just narrow and shallow, you are going to be embarrassed a lot of the times in the class. And students do that, and it is becoming more complicated with the AI world. Google and all that were a threat in the past, but AI has become even a stronger threat to academic people because they can easily dig up whatever information you want to give to them anyway. So an academic needs to be an all-rounder. So an exam is good and set with the cutoff mark set very, very high so that you weed out those who are good but not good enough. So that's what that kind of examination and interview should be. And importantly, these best students, they tend to be good. They are good already. So the best thing would be to guide them, give them suggestions, alternative careers that they can go into. I think I asked that question in one of my nuggets, whether if you ask me today to become an academic, whether I would choose it. Maybe because I've gone through the ranks right to the top, I would be more swayed to, I would probably be more negative because as you rise and rise, especially into the administrative ranks, you are going to meet a lot of antagonists. That is the best word I can use for them. People who think they should be there and not you, but they. So if you want to be happy, sometimes you could just, and I do know of colleagues who simply remain as professors, they teach and conduct research only and don't bother with administration, because looking after people is quite difficult, adults in particular. So they got those confrontations and the PhD syndrome, or pull him or her down syndrome. So this is something we'll be touching on in time to come in the future. But I think we stop at this point and not keep dragging this on. So it's something for the administrators to think about. But I give my thumbs up for the Graduate Assistantship program. Thank you.